these are some ideas for you, just in general, about communication, idle thoughts, random things we couldn't fit into any of the other slides. So people often ask us, what is healthy eye contact? Healthy eye contact is short but frequent. So you should be never engage in direct eye contact with somebody for more than 3 or 4 seconds. So you just kind of want to, boom, 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 boom. So just short but frequent.
Take a serious but pleasant approach. Don't be too serious as you're doing a presentation. Make a little fun of yourself if that feels appropriate. But, be yourself, I guess, like your mom told you.
Yeah. The other thing I can tell you is there's only 2 subjects to make fun of, and that's yourself and yourself, okay? It's like, don't ever tell any stories about anybody else that's at their expense. Don't gossip. Just have some fun, but make sure it's focused on your own foibles and your own frailties, and people will love you for it. Inappropriate advances. If there's someone that's saying or doing things that are making you feel uncomfortable, bring up your significant other, bring up your spouse or your friend or whatever. So enough said about that. It usually is a signal that people understand and they go away fast on it.
Sell with compassion and sensitivity. If you're somebody who's naturally empathetic and compassionate, lean into these qualities. They're great qualities for a salesperson to have, and don't be shy about using them.
Dress is an interesting subject in our business, and I know that people that are younger than me believe that. I guess maybe we have to agree to disagree on this one. I believe that you guys should be at a minimum of a dress shirt and a sport coat. And here's what I would tell you. Don't let your clothes hurt you, okay? Because people 85% of the time make up their mind in the first 8 seconds whether or not they like you, and 85% of that is visual. Excuse me, that's what I should have said. 85% of their impression of you is visual. And if you don't look like a real estate professional, people, chances are not going to see you that way. They might find you very approachable. They might find you very friendly. They might find you a lot of really positive things, but they're not going to have you in that real professional box. So I just believe that. I don't think I'm ever going to see anything that would indicate otherwise. I went on several listing appointments where people said to me, well, you should be glad that you weren't one of the 2 guys we talked to this morning, because neither one of them had a shirt and coat. I mean, they were dressed sloppy. So, Amy, 30 seconds on this one?
I think a lot of people, we had this discussion in class one time, and there was discussion about how, well, my friends would think I'm like putting on airs if I wore a suit and looked nice, and I'm showing them houses. And somebody else in the class said, I want to do everything I can to put myself in the real estate professional box. And so that guy said, I always wear a tie because of it. And I thought that was a good point. I mean, if you were working at Target and your friends came in and saw you, they'd expect you to be wearing a red shirt. You're at work. And so this is a similar thing. Don't be afraid to dress the part. I've heard so many stories about how clothes worked for or against somebody in a professional situation. We had a speaker come and talk to us, and he worked in a rural setting, and well, he did both, rural and urban, but whenever he was talking to the rural folks, he'd wear jeans and boots, and he'd been trying to get this listing for months and months, and And he happened to stop by and talk to the guy after a closing when he was wearing a suit. And that's what did it. That's what helped him get the listing, because now the guy saw him in a professional light.
And he never went back to wearing flannels and jeans and stuff to talk to the farmers out in the rural communities. He wore a coat, and in those days he wore a tie. Ties, I think, are somewhat optional now, but I think you need to look good. And for women, I think business casual. I mean, I think women know what they're supposed to look like.
I think, you know, super high heels are inappropriate. I mean, I know women like to wear them, and it's just not practical when you're showing houses and walking around basements and, you know, walk in the backyard and your heels are sinking in. I mean, I wore heels to my very first showing, and I said never again, because they were like 3 inches into the mud, and they're just not practical. So be comfortable and professional looking, and I think that's probably the best approach for a dress.
Yeah. Next one is always control your emotions. If you get angry or upset or whatever, I don't know, go in the bathroom and wash your face or something. Relax, take your time. You cannot, there's no upside to being angry and acting that out in a professional environment. So it's just imperative that you learn how to control your emotions, be calmly assertive, give people enough space and enough right to do something or say something stupid. It's okay. You cannot respond with that kind of behavior. You just have to say, I understand you're upset, I get it, but don't, I don't know, help me out here, man.
Yeah, I think that, it's tough, especially when somebody's angry toward you. It's real easy to get kind of hot and want to respond in kind. But I think that is a sign of a professional if you can control your emotions and just learn to respond appropriately instead of being angry back. And that comes with practice. That comes from grounding yourself at the beginning of the day, however you choose to do that, with prayer, meditation, whatever works for you. But I think, making sure that you're not just flying around reacting to things is really important. The other thing that helps with that is to make sure you have plenty of business. If this is your only deal and it's going sideways, you're going to react, and that's because you don't have enough business.
Desperate people make poor choices.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really that simple. And one of those poor choices might be an inappropriate reaction to a situation that you may find regrettable later. So you're going to have to chill out, and stay chilled out, regardless of what you're thinking about what's going on or how fairly you're being treated. So, enough said. Remember, they're not the professional. You are. They don't have the responsibility to act appropriately, but you do.